Hi guys! It's been a while since I've done a video, so I'm starting this morning a little late. I gotta get food first. Our routine is so messed up right now, it's unbelievable. So we moved the goats, and I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna try to get them all out there one-handed. Are you girls ready? Want some treats? I have a bucket full of treats. Daisy, trying to make sure they don't get away from me. This is going to be a crazy video. Come on. This is my morning, so I want to be as real with you as possible. Come on, girls. Louie. They gone. Daisy's like, I know where to go, Mom. Come on. Let's go get some treats. Come on. Trying to keep them out of my raspberry bushes. They're just now starting to grow back. Daisy knows where to go. Don't you, girl? Don't you, girly? Here they come. They love this pen. And I'm so happy. It makes me so happy. John worked so hard. He's been coming home after work. He did this Sunday. Come on. Treats. Treats all around. Sorry, guys, if I'm... Come on. He started this on Sunday, and he did, I'll show you if I can get the lighting right. No chickens. I'll show you the fence and stuff. Trying to keep the chickens away from the goats. The goats' poopies have been really dark lately. Still pellets. Not quite sure what that means. They have outside grass. The sun is just in the wrong position. So we're trying to keep the chickens away from the goats. I don't know if you could see the front when I first came in. I just love this gate, you guys. He did such a good job. Isn't that beautiful? It's a pallet cut in half. A great big huge pallet. And then he actually took the time to go through and make them uneven for me because that's just me. I like things uneven. And yesterday... I came out, he put all the fencing up. You can see this. I'll actually show you that. I'm so backwards. Usually I have a list of what I want to go over. I don't know why, but hopefully it's not too windy. These pallets, not pallets, it is concrete flooring, I guess. Hopefully it's not too windy. But it is, you see how tall it is? It's actually 16 by 8, and we cut it in half to have 4-foot fencing. If you guys can see that. And what he did, instead of using the T-post, is he just bent the wire around all the way down. And it is strong. It's unbelievable. It's like, I'm so thankful that I'm blessed and I have such an amazing husband. And then in here, they have their swing. I made them a swing out of a pallet. I just cut it in half, a small pallet. And then this is like a tarp. It's from where John used to work, Performance Plus. It's a tarp folded in half for quick oil changes. And then this, actually, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I like to repurpose everything. I don't want to put money into anything if I don't have to. This is the old cable wire that was ran in the bottom of the house, and we ripped it out when we moved in because it didn't go to anything. And everybody kept tripping over it. So that's what that is it's old cable. And then I tied it up in the tree, and then I brought it down and I screwed it. So I will let you guys know how long that lasts. So far, it's 24 hours. Doing great. We brought their little tyke slide in. They love that thing. And then John made them a mound of dirt. Hopefully you can see, because I can't see what you see. And then yesterday in my construction, I made that guy. It's really windy out here, I apologize. It's just old boards. It looks hideous, but it works. The girls actually have a tree fort up there. And then I put fence. I used the extra fence that we had for the trellis, and I put it up there so they can't jump down just in case. It's probably really windy and you probably can't hear a thing I'm saying. But yeah, that's the new goat pen. A lot of things can happen in one day. It's unbelievable. Still some stuff I have to clean up out here. It's super windy. I'm sorry. And he is going to take... I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, he's going to take the old hardware off of the old door and put it here. Right now we just have this guy. And I don't recommend these because goats are really smart. And Louie, somehow, some way, will figure out how to open this door. For real. I think I showed you my new garden door. And I don't know where I want to put that yet. And I'll tell you why in a minute. What else has changed? So there's a rule about grapevines. Don't prune in June. Don't do it. Do you guys remember how overgrown my grapevines were? Well, one of my trees were diseased. And it was killing every plant that was touching it. It was like spreading really bad. So I cut it down. And in the process, I may or may not have pruned out some trees that were okay and alive. So I'm gonna show you what I did. It's a lot. Do you remember how bad this was? And you guys, I haven't even touched the surface on this thing. I'm assuming this thing is probably about 20 years old. Maybe older, I don't know. It's pretty well established. We have a lot of grapes coming in. I'm gonna say it's probably got 5 or 10 years of neglect where it hasn't been pruned at all, and it was bad. If you haven't seen my older videos, if you can see without the sun in the way, I don't know if you can see. You see all that? It's just years and years and years and years of this thing being overgrown and no one taking care of it. So I did a lot of pruning on this thing. A lot. And you're not supposed to. So we're praying, and this is what I have to take care of. So seeds fell, and I have random canes growing everywhere. This one here, this jumbled up mess, no, not that one, this one. This jumbled up mess, it's going everywhere. And it is coming from it starts over there. You can see this. Hopefully you can see that. Where am I at? Yeah, see where he started? And then he vines to here, and then he canes out, and he goes back this way and this way. Now that you're sick, yeah, I'm just letting you know that I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm trying. It's crazy. But I did cut out the old dead guy. This guy looks pretty good. He's got a couple guys that need to go still, but I'm going to give him a chance to, God told me stop. Just stop. You're killing it. So I stopped. And I'm not going to touch it at all the rest of the year. There's a lot. I did a lot. I probably shouldn't have done so much. If you guys know anything about grapevines, please know that I don't. I researched what you're supposed to do online, but there's nothing on YouTube about overgrown grapevines. Everybody plants them, and then they're like 5 years old, and they're like, okay, this is how you train it. This is how you prune it. There's nothing in there about like disease or what to do in the instance that I'm in. This thing is huge. It's massive. I have probably about 30 canes in there, not including the new ones. I have some new ones that are like this big, and I wish I knew more about them because I would like to transplant them somewhere other than here. I have some kiwi plants that will grow 15 feet tall, and it's like vines. They're Chicago hardy. No, I'm not sure what they are. I'm thinking of my figs, but they're good for northern Michigan. They withstand up to negative 20-degree temperatures. So as long as you mulch them really, really well, they should do good. And we're looking for a place to put those right now. Probably will be where the it will probably be over in the backyard to give us some privacy. We also have some other stuff that we would like to put up. We're going to do some trellises with some vines, some flower vines. I'm trying to keep this area over here, if you can see in that back corner where all those trees are, really trying to keep that clear, and I don't want to do anything over there yet because I'm trying to talk my parents, they're elderly, trying to talk to them into building over there in that small corner, if my mom will go for it. She's a wonderful woman, and I hate I'm only like 30 minutes away from her, but I never have time to go over and see her. Whereas if they were right over here, I could see her every day. She could be waving at me on her back porch, and that would be amazing. She could watch the little chickens come by, and so that's my little pipe dream. They're looking for a retirement home. They're selling. They have 2 houses right now they're selling, so I'm hoping, here's to hoping. So we're going to keep that clean out and not touch it. My brother-in-law came over with the tractor, and I wanted to do this all by hand. I really did. But I have plants that are inside that are dying. My bell peppers and my tomatoes, I don't have any place to put them. So I've taken up every inch of window space that's sunny in the house. And they're okay, but they need to be repotted. I've transplanted, or not transplanted, I've repotted my tomato plants 3 times. They are about 2 feet tall, and they have great root system on them. I'm just out of potters, you guys. I think I have 56 altogether. My bell peppers are not as big, but that's what I'm expecting for northern Michigan. All of the stuff that I'm doing this year, I'm just happy that I'm keeping everything alive, really. I'm really not expecting any produce off of any of it because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. Here's hoping. God shall provide. These are my 3 rows of corn. So here we have glass gem corn, and then we have sweet dorini. I hope I'm saying that right. And then over there we have that maize. It's the really dark colored corn. So this is just an experiment for us. We're going to try to do the 3 sisters method, and that's where you put 4 seeds. I actually did 8, and then I'm going to take 1 out. The one that's weaker I'll take out. But you do 4 corn seeds, and then I think it's 2 or 3 bean stalks, so they can climb up. They'll climb up the corn and give the corn nitrogen, and they'll also make the stalks hardy and sturdy so they don't break in the wind. And then between each one of those mounds, I'm going to be doing squash, and that will squash out the weeds and stuff. It's called the 3 Sisters Method. Pretty excited about that. I'm trying to block the wind. It's coming from that way, and the sun is back there, so this video is going to be horrible. But I wanted you to see what I was up to. It's been a while since I've been on. It's been very productive the last couple of weeks. So we have the field tore up right now. He used the disc first, and then he's like, you know what, Jana, I'm just going to come back over on Thursday and I'll plow it. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I am going to give him 4 rows of corn on the farther property that I wasn't planning on using anyway, just for the respect of my neighbor. He has 4 horses over there on, I think he's got 1 acre total. And his horses are like out of free range grass. So he brings his horses over, and I'm totally okay with that because I love his horses. They're so sweet. But he'll bring the horses over and they'll eat that grass. So I was trying to keep that separate. If my video cuts off on me, you guys, I'm sorry, and I'll continue on another video. I don't have any kind of editing system. I have a really cheap, one of those $20 Cricket phones. As you can tell, my quality stinks, but these videos are more so to show us what we've done in the past and what we can change for next year. Also to help you to know what not to do, what worked for us and what didn't work for us. Hopefully there is a little homestead here in northern Michigan that's by me that's trying to start out, and if I can save anyone time or money by telling them what worked for us and what didn't work for us in our area, just one person, saving one person time and money would be a treat. So now that I'm off my soapbox, we have 6 rows of strawberries, and they're all doing very well. I did have a couple that didn't make it, as to be expected, because they're all transplants they're all runners from another garden. I do have some flowers. You guys can see, hopefully you can see that. I have some flowers in there. I did have one plant that I needed to research on. I'm assuming it's like a sloth, or not a sloth, slug, because I seen some goopiness on it. I don't remember which one it was now. But they're like, hopefully you guys can see it. See this right here? It's like going black. There's Bob. He's making his appearance. Say hi, Bob. It's our little minx. That one, and there's one more. This one right here. Those are the two. I hope you guys can see. Those are the two that I'm dealing with right now. All the other ones are really healthy. I have 4 or 5 that have flowers. I have to research to see if I'm supposed to pluck the flowers off. I got these ones at a plant sale. She literally gave me 3 Walmart bags full of plants that I didn't have time to plant right away. I just kept them moist, got them in the ground, and I think out of the 3 garbage bags, I only lost 3 plants. So, literally all I did was stick them in a hole. No compost, no nothing. Stuck them in a hole and prayed. That's pretty much my, that's what I do around here. We don't have any compost yet. We just got the goats in March, so we don't have anything that's not hot. I don't know if goat poop is hot or not. I really haven't done. But everything's doing really good. So I'm not sure what the variety is on our strawberries. I know I have 3 North Sea strawberry plants from Baker's Creek. And those guys are doing very well. They're a little bit smaller than the others, but they were hydroponic plants. So when they came in, they were just bare roots. There was no dirt in them at all. And what you want to do with those, if you ever get one of those from Baker Creek, is you actually want to soak them in some water when you first get them. I think I did mine for a day. I think normally you should just do like 12 hours, but I did mine for a day. And then I stuck them in some just basic dirt. I didn't have compost. I didn't have topsoil from the store. I was in a hurry to get them in dirt because I didn't know what I was doing. Stuck them in basic dirt, just my dirt that's out here on the ground. And then I heavily watered them the first time. And then I did daily, just a little glass full, probably 4 ounces for each plant. And they did great. So that's my recommendation for that. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. I don't know how other people do it. I'm not a professional. It's just what worked for us. Look at my field. I'm so excited about that, you guys. I really didn't want to use any kind of tractors. I was trying to do just all organic, but is there any such thing with a field that size? We have radishes. Look at the size of these suckers. These are planted way too close together. I do not have the heart to rip out plants. I really don't. In my mind, I'd rather have 2 really small radishes and have them both make it than have one huge one and have something eat it. So this is my first year. Next year, I know not to plant them so close together and do a little bit heavier weeding. These ones are the strip. I think they're Burpee White sparklers, but that's by Burpee. It's one of those seeds that I bought before I found Baker Creek, and I'm impressed. I would rather go with the Baker Creek seeds, but as you can tell, these are the difference. These are the Burpees, and these are the Baker Creeks. So I don't know what I did wrong, and you can see over there I have 2 rows too. Hopefully you can see. The outer one is the Burpee, and then the inner one is the Baker Creek. The only thing that I can think of is maybe the water is draining differently. And these are heirloom seeds, so maybe they're going to have more flavor. I haven't tried out the flavor yet. Just in comparison of looking at the leaves and stuff, so far the Burpees are winning. But again, I'm not going to go that route next year because I would rather have the heirloom seeds and support a small family, if you can call Baker Creek small. Yeah, I would just rather have heirloom. I would rather use heirloom seeds. And then my carrots, these are the black nebulas. They're doing great. I should weed them out if I ever have time, but seriously, I have so much going on that it's just kind of like sending the kids out and letting the kids do it. Ava's doing a great job. And these are the spinach plants. I had 30 of them and they were doing great. And then I read somewhere online that you're supposed to mulch them to keep them out of the sun. So I threw some of Ava's alfalfa rabbit poo mixture on it when we first got the bunny. And it killed, I would say, 80% of my spinach plants. So next year, Jana, if you're watching this, don't mulch your spinach because they're doing beautifully without. And it also looks like I might have animal. Can you see the hole? So that also could be my problem, is that rabbit hay has attracted another bunny and he's burrowing underground into my spinach plants. So there's that to think about. We do have a lot of wild bunnies around here. Over here we have celery. These are the plants that I planted originally back in, I think it was March. They're just the store-bought stuff that you cut off and you keep it in water. And I was doing an experiment and I was just like, I'm just gonna bring them outside. And they lasted through 2 frosts. I never covered them up. They're doing great. I actually brought another 3 out and I put the other 3 right here. You can see them dead in front. But these are the 3 original plants that I brought out. So, I don't know. I know those ones were the organic ones and these ones here were not. They were just the cheapest. You know, sometimes you have to shop on a budget and other times you're like, woohoo, got a good paycheck. It was one of those. So, it worked and it's good. Everything else is coming up beautifully. There's the valerian, if you can see. These are the ones that I had that the neighbor at the other house accidentally mowed over. If you guys can see that, and they're coming up really good. I can't remember exactly what those were. I wanted to show you. I thought these were ditch lilies, but I have a flower on it now. Did I see it? Bob, the camera hog. So I'm excited about that. It's got a beautiful purple flower on it. I don't know what it is. If you guys know, drop me a comment. My roses are doing really well. So, potatoes. I planted these suckers and I wasn't sure what to do. I just got a bag of, they're back in the seed section at the big box store. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it's a baggie and it had a bunch of vines going, there's a tuber that had a bunch of vines growing off of them, so I just put them in the ground. And I read that you're supposed to, every time that they vine up, you're supposed to cover them up. They weren't doing real well, so I stopped covering them just to see what would happen. And they're doing amazing. There's one there, there's one over here, there's one there. I think I have 4 here and I'm supposed to have 4 over there, but it looks like one hasn't popped out yet and I'm okay with that. Another thing that I've been doing is watering really, really heavy. But then I noticed that my purple sweet potatoes were getting purple leaves and that means you're over watering them. So I kind of cut it back a little bit and I have another hole. What am I going to do? I cut it back a little bit and now these guys are turning green again. Yellow is a bad sign and dark purple is a bad sign for purple, these purple sweet potatoes. I think, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to have to do some more research on those guys because I'm not 100% on what's going on with them. They're not as happy as when I brought them out. And it looks like I have all 3 of them still, so that's good. My rhubarb that I transplanted last week. It looks like I have a buggy in here somewhere. I've been trying to keep an eye on them. I'm not harvesting them this year. I'm going to let them go. I have 3 starts that I have to bring back out. I think I might move. I'm not going to move these ones, but I think I'm going to put the rhubarbs in all of my perennial stuff, like our asparagus and all of that is going to go over in the field. Because I think what we're going to end up doing is actually moving this garden plot and putting my door in on this side somewhere. I think I might put it over there between the trees, like by the grapevines, and then we're going to end up fencing that in, and then have this be open for the kids to play in. Again, not 100% because we're really dead set on getting that gazebo over here where the chairs are set up. Sorry about my mess. I live out here and I don't have time. There's just not enough time. As you can tell, my greenhouse has not moved 1 inch in the last 2 weeks because there's just no time. This video is 25 minutes long. I'm getting out here late. I'm supposed to water first thing in the morning. I usually get out here about 7 as soon as the girls get on the bus. We have Mason here from Indiana for 3 weeks. So it's just been kind of hanging out with him and playing video games, and it's kind of like my vacation too, you know. The first couple of days that he's back, it's just snuggling him and loving up on him. I don't get to see him very often, so John gets to go to Indiana and I have to